feel like the Terminator.
Dude, you okay?
Dude, I've been playing Risk of Rain.
Sure you weren't fapping?
Maybe. Risk of Pain. Oh my god, my fingers hurt! Risk of Rain was developed by Duncan Drummond and Paul Morse, two students from the University of Washington. Under their name Hoopu, they had a Kickstarter raising $30,000. This money led to the partnership with Chucklefish, or what you and I would know them as, the people who made Starbound. And together, united, they pooped out the gem that is Risk of Rain. Risk of Rain has been the most delightful and painful experience I have yet with a roguelike platformer. It's most well known for its insane difficulty, and it's all thanks to two major factors. One is life mechanic. You only get one life. That's it, son. One life. You dead. And two, it's steadily increasing difficulty. This game gets hard as shit over time, man. The one life mechanic isn't as big as a turnoff as you think it would be. Sure, after investing maybe 20 or 30 minutes in a run, bam, you're dead. And you gotta restart from the very beginning. It's gonna make you rage. At first. Progressively, as you play the game, you will get better. You become more adept. You know when to take hits. You get better map awareness. And you will learn certain strats for beating the game, which makes the game overall even more fun.
The story is simple. You play as a survivor of a space freighter crash on a strange planet inhabited by monsters. You attempt to survive by slaying these monsters and collecting, well, hoarding, items. There is a single player and a multiplayer co-op that plays the same way. The gameplay is very action-oriented. There are 10 classes of survivors that you can choose from with their own special 4 move sets and strengths. Some have evasive and faster attack moves, but are generally more squish, while others are tankier, but slower. You can obtain gold from killing randomly generated monsters to open chests that give you randomly generated items that will allow you to improve your character. Some will boost defense and others will boost offense. On each level there are characters that can be unlocked during special events or by doing certain actions. There are also artifacts on different levels that completely change how you play the game. For example, the sacrifice artifact that can be attained from the magma barracks level will make chests no longer spawn, but items will now be dropped from monsters upon death. The artifacts can be toggled on or off at the select menu screen. The item tier lists are defined by their color. White is common, green is uncommon, red is rare, orange are use items, and yellow are boss items. Yep, there are bosses that spawn throughout the game. Each level has at least one when you activate the teleporter, so these bosses do show up more frequently when it comes towards the late game.
Look man, the struggle is so real with this game. I ain't even mad, bruh. This game is just so hard that it leaves the impression, fuck, this game is so hard. Can someone please pass the salt? I haven't even beaten this game once in single player, but I have done it a shit ton of times in multiplayer, which is what I highly suggest y'all do. This game is so not noob friendly. There's a brief scheme on how to control your character in the beginning, and a constant reminder of what goal you must accomplish, which is the same fucking goal every time. Get to the teleporter, click it, survive for 90 seconds, kill everything, move on. But other than that, the game leaves you stranded to get killed by giant jellyfishes and giant colossi from Shadow of the Colossus. So this is the section of the video where I advise you how to beat the game. Tip number 1. Play with a group. It's best to play with friends because F-U-N, fun. F is for friends who do stuff together. U is you gotta run, motherfucker. N is for no escape, death. Also, when you die in a level, you don't have to start all over. Your friends can carry you on their strong muscular backs, and on the next level you can respawn. So the game is not over yet. On the downside though, you do have to wait 20 to 30 minutes for your friends to finish the level sometimes. If you guys have to take a shit, I suggest y'all take a shit at this very moment. Tip dos. Use Artifact of Command. Located in the Hive cluster, this artifact makes items no longer randomized. Instead of a randomized item spawning, a randomized colored block will spawn. Within it are selectable items. The block tiers are similar to the item tiers, with red being the best and the rarest. This is essential because now you can freely customize your item build to maximize survivability and damage. Tip number 3. Create an item build that will further expand on your class's abilities. For example, if you choose the Bandit class, a decent red item for that class will be the Brilliant Behemoth, which does an extra 20% damage to nearby enemies. This item really complements the bandit's range attacks, cause all he really does is jump and shoot. My favorite class is the mercenary class because of his late game juggling fiascos. I use a build created or at least showed to me by my friend Anthony. This is Anthony. Wait, that's not right. That's better. What you generally want to do is get as many survivability items you can in the early stages of the game. And if you're lucky, you'll get certain red items to exploit your abilities. For example, Anthony goes 1 infusion, 5 medkits, 2 spawning eggs, 1 tough times, 2 bustling fungus, and 1 to 2 wicked rings. Mid to late game, you should start building for damage. With this build, generally you want to build a shit ton of sights, at least 8 lens makers glasses, and 8 soldier syringes. After that, you can pretty much build whatever the fuck you want. When this build is complete, you can constantly whirlwind on enemies and kill them in such a fun manner, while healing at the same time, because of the Wicked Wings cooldown reduction, right? And like, the crit coordinating with the scythe and the glasses crit abilities, so much stuff happening at the same time, can't follow. These item builds create a unique and fun experience when playing this game, because each build is different, it doesn't have to be the same. There's so many different ways a person can build their class. Personally, I like having a behemoth on my merc, because then I get to feel like Sushio from the Rurouni Kenshin series, and it's fun as shit. You get to dash everywhere, and you get to blow fire out of your sword, and it's all cool. Tip number 4. Farming. At some point in the game, you could be underleveled and under-itemed, especially if you died earlier in the game, so choose a nice stage and farm the shit out of the monsters. This farming session would be the hardest part of the game, because you have to survive. Survive, motherfucker! You have to choose when to farm wisely, because your farm session can spiral out of control exponentially. You could be like nicely farming monsters, getting a decent amount of gold for like 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden a clusterfuck of monsters just come at you. Oh my god! Oh my god! The most annoying monsters that the game spawns are the giant jellyfishes, magma worms, scavengers, and the giant pigs, aka bacon generator. You see, the giant pigs produce smaller pigs, which is a decent boss effect, right? Boss spawns smaller minions to fight for them, right? Right? Nope. Nope. Pope. The game constantly spawns enemies. There isn't a cap limit, but there is a limit on how much your computer can display. These fucking pigs create so many damn little piglets that it drops the frame rate of the game, causing lag, which causes unfair death. Death by lag is one of the most unfortunate, common things that can happen to a gamer. There hasn't been a solution to this yet, so you just gotta really work through the pain and kill as many piglets as you can.
Beyond the lag of the piggies, I do have some minor gripes with this game. When playing the game, sometimes there's an error that occurs for no reason and forces you out of the game, and that's bull. You can sometimes glitch your controls when you play, and you can't move or activate skills. The multiplayer is a lock-in, so if you DC or an error occurs that forces you to quit the game, you can no longer join your friends to the game, and you know, that's like sad face right there. But if you open a chest in a small space, sometimes the item will be stuck in between the background, and it's not even reachable. Once again, the drop in frame rate is caused by having too many enemies on the screen, but that can be solved by using a decent amount of crowd control. Sometimes, the button spamming takes a real toll on your fingers, so if you use a controller like me, rather than a keyboard, you'll spam the shit out of your fingers. It'll feel like you're playing like Time Crisis 69. These gripes rarely happen, and so long as you have a decent computer and stable internet, most of these things won't even happen to you. Support such as hotfixes or patches from the developers hasn't been implemented since 2013, but news from Risk of Rain website for some updates were announced in June of 2014.
With that being said, this game gets our rating of Games Over Food. This game is the epitome of roguelike gaming. Its price of $9.99 is well worth it, since it has so much replay value. Selecting different classes, using different artifacts, making different item builds, it creates a different gaming experience every time you play. Not to mention, the multiplayer is really fun, glitchy and unforgiving, but really fun. And with the 4-pack bundle of $29.99, it's a sale, son! Sale! This game is very fucking difficult, and the struggle, oh, the struggle is so real with this one. But once you beat this game, it's the most glorious feeling ever. Feels just like sex.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching our video. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. And if you like our video, then like it. And also, don't forget to share it to a friend, you know, so that they can like and subscribe it too. Here's our other videos that we make and will make. And also, as a side note, if you subscribe and like our videos, it'll help us and promote us to, you know, make some more videos. So, the more support you give us, the more videos you get. See you next week.